Well, howdy, I'm John Mark Dempsey, and we're having a second cup of coffee here with Tommy Harrison, who is, of course, you know, is a Sulphur Springs City Councilman, and Ricky Godbolt, and they are both members of the Masonic Columbia Lodge number 81 in Sulphur Springs.
Yes.
And we ought to have a conversation with you all about the Masonic Lodge someday. It'd be fascinating to learn more about it. But they're here primarily to talk about Voter Registration Day, which was, I see online it says September 17th, but you all are doing 2 days worth of Voter Registration Day. So it's September 17th and September 18th, Tuesday and Wednesday. And you're set up at the Graves Building?
Yes.
In Sulphur Springs?
Yes. In fact, just Ricky Godbolt just reminded me today that, and we picked this day, but I didn't know the day was
Voters Register Day.
Voters Registration
National
Day.
Voters Registration
National
Day.
Voter Registration Day.
Yeah, I did not know that.
It was Tuesday, September 17th. But you all being the diligent, productive guys that you are, you're doing 2 days worth
That's
of,
correct.
of voter registration.
That's correct.
So people can come to the Graves Building and get whatever they need to register.
Yes.
And you can register them to vote there. Is that right?
As long as they have the proper identification, and as long as they meet all the qualifications.
Okay. So now there have been a lot of discussion about that over recent years. So what is the proper identification?
They must have a driver's license or an identification card.
Or concealed handgun license.
A concealed handgun license. Huh. What would be, other than a driver's license, Ricky, what would be an acceptable form of ID?
If they can use a Social Security card.
Yeah.
They can use a Social Security
Okay.
number. They have to show that card, give us the entire number.
Mm-hmm. So that's the next most common,
Yes.
other than a driver's license. Of course, most people will have a driver's
Yes.
license. Yeah. And what are the other qualifications then? You mentioned qualifications.
Well, there are certainly several qualifications, but you can't be a convicted felon unless you have been released.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all basically, you got to be off of paper. If you're going to prison or you've been on probation or you're on probation, you have to be cleared of all of that.
I see.
In order to register to
I
vote.
see. And then obviously you have to be 18.
That's
you have
right.
to be 18.
Have to be a U.S. citizen, which
That's
is
right.
something that's been discussed quite a bit here
That's correct.
of late. You have to be an American citizen and 18 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what else? Is there anything else people should bring if they want to come to get registered?
They only need to bring their identification card.
Okay.
They have it.
Great.
That's it.
And you're there from 10 to 4
10 to 4
on Wednesday.
On Wednesday,
and
yes.
Tuesday as well, but this will be heard and seen on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you said you've seen quite a few people on Tuesday, but
Yes.
but you'd like to see more.
Yes, sir. We definitely like to see more. But we're satisfied with the ones that we have seen, but we would like to see more.
This is the first time your lodge has done this?
Yes.
What motivated you this time to organize this event in Sulphur Springs?
Well, one thing, just by word of mouth from talking to people, we found out that there were several people that weren't registered to vote. And there's a lot of people that didn't understand what it takes to vote. So we decided we would get out and try to get the word out and try to reach the people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want every voice, as on our sign to be heard. So many folks do get out and they talk about voting, but some of them have not registered to vote. So we just thought it was an excellent opportunity to get out here and do something for the community as well.
How long does voter registration last? Once you register, then how long is that good for? What period of time, do you know?
From now,
Uh-huh.
unless you
Well, when do you have to register again? I guess is.
You don't have to register again. They just keep sending you a new card.
Well, you know what? Come to think of it, that's right. Because I do
You
get
never
it.
register again.
Right.
So what? That's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
terrific. Once you're registered,
You register.
you're registered.
Unless you lose the qualifications, like being convicted of a felony. or
Okay.
something, then you'd have to go back and redo everything again.
But you're right. I get a card every
Every year.
Is it every year?
I think it's every year.
It is,
Yeah.
every year.
And that card is not necessary on election day to present that particular card. You could show just the driver's
Driver's
license or other identification.
That's correct.
Yeah. So when's the deadline to register?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 7 October.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean,
October
don't,
7th.
you know,
Yeah.
don't quote me on that too
7th?
much, but I think it's 7 October.
Okay. So you've got a few weeks left,
That's right.
but there's no time like
The
the present time.
right.
That's right.
And you guys have set up a great service for people. They can take advantage of it. I'll go ahead and say today, but Wednesday, September 18th.
That's correct.
Yeah, but November 5th is the big day.
Yeah.
That's the day.
That's election day, and people need to remember that. And we're out of time, but you told me something interesting also, and that is that in Hopkins County you can go to any voting precinct, any voting location, and cast your vote
That's right.
That's correct.
on Tuesday, November 5th.
Yes.
Good.
That's
All right.
correct.
So again, Ricky Godbolt and Tommy Harrison are at anybody else helping you out with this, or just you two?
Well, the entire
two fellows?
lodge, yes.
Okay, great.
The entire lodge.
But they're at the Grays Building from 10 to 4, Tuesday, September 18th, and you can go there and register to vote.
Thank you.
All right, great. Very
Thank
good. Thanks for having a second cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
I'm John Mark Dempsey. This is KSST.